When Donald Trump met Vladimir Putin in Alaska, he anticipated the usual diplomatic protocol. Instead, what unfolded before him was a staggering $10 billion security spectacle that left him utterly speechless. Fighter jets roared overhead, armored convoys rolled across the frozen terrain, and elite bodyguards matched American forces gun for gun. Even more astonishing was Putin's flying fortress, a presidential aircraft worth more than the defense budgets of most nations. Yet beneath this show of force lay a deeper story, one that turned the Alaska summit into a historic turning point. Picture the scene. August 15th, 2025. The frozen wilderness of Alaska became the stage for one of the most extraordinary diplomatic encounters in modern history. As Air Force One descended through the Arctic skies toward Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Trump was about to experience something unprecedented. This wasn't just a meeting with the Russian president. It was front-row access to the most extravagant and paranoid security operation the world had ever witnessed. The first shock came from what didn't happen. For the first time in decades, Putin traveled without his usual fighter jet escort. Normally, 4 to 6 Russian Su-57 jets would form an impenetrable aerial shield around him, each costing tens of millions. But in Alaska, Putin chose differently. He abandoned his escort, a deliberate, calculated gesture meant to de-escalate tensions and signal trust during negotiations over Ukraine. Yet what replaced Russian air power was even more spectacular, an American display of military might that stunned observers and left Trump silent. As Putin's Ilyushin Il-96-300 PU, the infamous Flying Kremlin, approached Alaskan airspace, the United States responded with overwhelming power. A B-2 stealth bomber, escorted by 4 F-35 Lightning II jets, thundered overhead in a breathtaking flyover during the greeting ceremony. The costs were staggering. The B-2 alone runs $135,000 per hour, with each F-35 adding another $80,000. But the true marvel wasn't the American show. It was Putin's own aircraft. The Flying Kremlin is no ordinary plane. Valued between $500 million and $1 billion, it is a flying fortress engineered to survive nuclear war. Its interiors gleam with gold plating, crystal glassware, and opulent furnishings, while hidden beneath the luxury lies cutting-edge defense technology. Even Trump, who built his career on luxury, was reportedly taken aback by the sheer extravagance. Intelligence sources and viral online investigations suggest his reaction was one of awe, though official transcripts remain silent on the matter. On the ground, the spectacle continued. Hundreds of Secret Service agents had been deployed in a frantic week-long operation, importing vehicles and securing the remote Alaskan base. Costs for U.S. taxpayers quickly climbed into the millions. Yet Putin's security detail, the Russian Federal Protective Service, or FSO, mirrored every American move. If the Secret Service placed 10 agents in a room, the Russians placed 10. If snipers took positions on rooftops, Russian snipers matched them. It wasn't diplomacy. It was a high-stakes game of security theater. The financial burden was enormous. U.S. expenditures ranged between $9 and $15 million, including Air Force One's $3.2 million round trip and motorcade expenses reaching several million more. Russian costs, though classified, likely equaled or exceeded America's. But what shocked Trump most wasn't the expense. It was the realization that this level of protection wasn't unique to Alaska. For Putin, it was simply routine. Putin's protection machine is unlike anything else on Earth. The FSO, a 50,000-strong force tracing its roots to the Tsarist era, operates as his modern-day Praetorian Guard. Entire budgets are funneled into his survival. In just the first 5 months of 2023, Putin's personal security costs surged to $186 million, outspending Russia's own border defense. His fleet of armored limousines, worth nearly $200 million in development, travels in convoys resembling military operations, complete with helicopters and jamming equipment. The bodyguards themselves, the so-called musketeers, are an elite within an elite. Handpicked for loyalty, stamina, and even appearance, they undergo 5 years of rigorous training in combat, intelligence, and survival. Each one represents an investment of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and their protocols verge on the paranoid. Food is tested with portable labs. Hotels are stripped of fixtures to prevent surveillance. Even Putin's biological waste is carried in a briefcase to prevent DNA theft. His residences are no less fortified. Putin's palace, valued at over $1 billion, includes underground bunkers, no-fly zones, and air defense systems redeployed from major cities to protect him. At his Valdai estate, 12 Panzer S-1 systems, normally used to defend military bases, stand guard, while Russian civilians face vulnerabilities elsewhere. To Putin, personal safety takes precedence over national defense. The paranoia extends to the sea as well. His yacht fleet includes the $700 million Scheherazade, alongside other luxury vessels, all requiring security crews and millions in upkeep. His armored trains are fitted with luxury amenities and mobile defense systems, transforming travel into a surreal blend of palace and fortress. Every aspect of Putin's life is shaped by survival, with cost being no object. The implications of this empire are staggering. Russia's 2025 defense budget consumed 6.3% of GDP, its highest since the Cold War, with a significant portion devoted not to the people, but to one man's protection. For comparison, Trump's own Secret Service costs in Florida hovered around $35 to $40 million annually, a fraction of what Putin's apparatus spends on a single season of operations. And yet, behind the spectacle lies a dark truth. Putin's obsession with survival stems from genuine threats, multiple assassination attempts over decades, from Chechen plots to ISIS cells to drone attacks during the Ukraine war. But his response has created an empire of paranoia, where national resources flow toward his security at the expense of hospitals, schools, and infrastructure. For Trump, the shock wasn't just the spectacle of Putin's security, it was the system itself. Unlike in the US, where presidential protection faces oversight and budgetary limits, Putin's apparatus operates without accountability. With unlimited resources, his personal fears become state policy. The Alaska summit revealed more than luxury and extravagance. It exposed the stark divide between democratic accountability and authoritarian excess, where power has no limits and protection becomes indistinguishable from paranoia.